if there's going to be like good respect between the two of us, well and good for me, but if not, it's not gonna work, cause mtu mkikosana utakuwa unamwona tu akipita hapo kila siku.
In my opinion, they don't work because as much as people like see each other, they take too much space and time when they see each other daily in office relations, and also it can get impartial, and so much of the work pressure can get into the relationship stuff.
Guys, we are loving the tweets. We are loving the conversation going on online. If you haven't come on board, the hashtag to use is KTN Life and Style. And if you think this topic is easy, think again, because it's not. Everything is tricky on this table. Everything is tricky on Twitter. But guys, we are loving the conversation. Keep it going. Our conversation today, Susan, do you want to remind the people?
Yes. We are talking about co-workers relationships. What do you guys think about dating in the office and even marrying in the office and being in that space together?
Definitely. And to join us in this conversation, we have Kate and we have Chris.
Yes.
Yes, they're a couple. Yes, they're bosses. And yes, they work together. They own a whole events company and a lot more, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But a lot of people on Twitter are actually really loving you guys. Somebody said, mimi ni Jeff kutoka Kakamega. Chris Kirwa na mke poa sana. This person wrote sana with an X. Sana na maneno ni mzuri. The love is real from Kakamega.
So there's somebody who has other very strong opinions. Where we asked them this question and they said, dating in a relationship, they said, it's Andrew from Twitter. He says it's a no-go zone, as it will just start like a fairy tale romantic thrill for only to end up very nasty and envious of one of yours promotions.
Since this show is about helping people and curing sorrows, please advise that person. They feel so bitter about it.
It's also very specific because he said envious about the promotion. So it's like, have you experienced this before?
It's that thing that you're saying where some people would
different
be happy
levels
for you in the office. How should people actually deal with this?
I think if you start dating and then you get a serious backlash, and probably by bad luck you end up breaking up, trust me, I don't think it's a journey you will be in a hurry to embark on again. So it depends on what he has been through, or what he has seen either people he knows or his friends go through when they are tempted to have a relationship at work. So it all depends. But again, in life, you can't keep on giving up, and you can't live according to people's wishes about what they want. At times, you have to be bold. You have to step, call her aside and tell her, now you know this is a storm, but we have to pass through it. And at 3 a.m., 2 hours later, it will be daylight. As in, you have to have such a discussion.
Right.
Then you have to surround yourself with maybe friends and people. And like we said, we guys went for a lot of mentorship to prepare us to survive this. And the truth is, you will never see us fight on Instagram. We're always posting very positive things on Twitter, on Facebook, for example, but that doesn't mean you don't fight.
Right.
The thing is, even if you ask the people that work with us, they've never seen us argue. Ever.
That's beautiful.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Even if I'm mad with her, she's mad with me. When we reach work, we start smiling.
Yeah.
So you have to have this screen. You have to have this window, unfortunately. And since we need to be real here, so we are not telling people we are perfect. We are not perfect. We fight. Throw our hands at each other sometimes. But the thing is, how do we make sure that then doesn't affect work?
That feels like you guys value your relationship more, and you've set the boundaries that this is what you're trying to protect, regardless of whether you guys are fighting. Because most people, even on social media, especially for people like you who have such huge followings, they'll come on social media and show us that we are fighting, we are at it.
Yeah.
So it's also a bit disrespectful to...
I'd like Kate to say something about that.
Squabbling on
Someone
social
is throwing
media
someone
as a
under
couple.
the bus.
I don't believe in putting out your fights out there, because you're putting it to people who don't know you. They have their own opinions, perspectives. It's always good to deal with your issues behind the scenes and keep it positive on the timeline.
There's someone on social media who says, I think it depends on your industry for your co-worker relationship to work. If it's the creative and arts industry, then yes, it's likely to work. If it's the corporate industry, then no. So do you feel, I feel like this is coming from the fact that they do events a lot.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the fact that you're in events, that's why it's been a bit easier or manageable?
I tend to feel that since we work for ourselves, not for a corporate, I think that's why it's easier, because you set your own rules, you set your own principles, and you determine how to bring the balance from relationship to work. But for a corporate, to say the truth, it's not easy. Then again, you see it's a risk you're taking. So if you're working for a corporate, you discuss about it and determine how do you go about it, because it's a risk. If it works, how do you go about it? If you break up, how do you deal with your colleagues?
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking from a boy child perspective. Mwanaume ni kujikaza. You see, I can't see this girl I like.
Yeah.
Then because that I'm afraid of corporate politics and now I don't know what will happen, niachilie kitu naona, hapa ndio hapa. You see, you have to, like I said, you have to have two plans. You have to have short term and long term. Call this girl aside, hey, mazi, kuna hivi, ni wewe nimeona. Unaonaje, unaweza kuwa umeniona? If she says amekuona, then you now plan. As in you go into a war room and plan and sit down and say, nika chess mnacheza.
Right.
If this happens, this happens. When do we reveal this? We can even date here na tuiweke chini ya maji. This is how we need to. And since you are in department, we are in the same department, niaje, kuna assuming there are branches in this company that you are working for, you have to have a plan. You can't just give up on life.
Yeah.
How do I now give up and this is the one I want?
Yeah.
So that's what I'll tell somebody who probably feels they're in a corporate world
Setting, yeah.
and they're in the same office, same department. It doesn't look like it will work. So you will go and get somebody where, remember, we don't have zones for people to go say, now I am standing here, I am single, ringtone style, and then people come. Like, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to work like that.
No.
Okay, in you guys' relationship and in your setting, what do you now do when you're working together as a couple and you're the employers and you're the bosses and you own the company, and then you can have somebody else attracted to now your spouse? Because that happens in all relationships, but now in the work setting, what happens there?
This is a point we go to a commercial break. Producer somewhere, commercial, then we come back.
Unfortunately.
But I think that is dealt at personal level, because we have our own boundaries. So if someone is attracted to me, I know the boundaries they should not cross, and I'm the one to set them. He's the one to set them, not the other person, not the third party. So that's between us. So if I notice someone is attracted to him, I'll let him know, and it happens, and I'll let him know which boundaries to put in place. Yeah.
When you were starting out the relationship, you said that it wasn't out there. You put it down as a secret. People didn't know. Your friends didn't also know.
Yeah.
In that case, how would you deal with it? When we are dating in this particular
But it's
setup,
chinyamaji.
it's chinyamaji, it's a secret, people don't know. And then we see someone coming to, anakuja katia someone that you're eyeing.
First and foremost, unajam. Jam.
Human traits.
Naanza kuhate huyo mse. Then after some point,
And that's your boss.
And that's your boss kwanza. So unaanza tu kuhate mdosi wako, upendi Silas. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Like we started this, we saying it's very tricky. So you will try and find a way of. That's why this Kaworum retreat. You know, even when you are planning strategy for 2020 for your company, you have to retreat. You go somewhere and retreat and plan and say, how do we survive this? So you need to have a point where you retreat and say, okay, this scenario is unfolding. How do we deal with it? And like Cate says, eventually, if you guys are very serious about this relationship, you might need to exit the company. You might need to ask for relocation. unfortunately, because it can be very toxic, especially if it's the boss who wants her. And I'm a junior too.
What are the chances?
One day you will wake up and slap the boss.
That's
Or punch the boss back.
Things will go too far.
Yeah, it can go too
So
far.
you have to ask yourself whether it's worth it.
Imagine the company party. So everybody is high. So now the boss is holding her. Now I'm here pretending mimi ni bro yake. I'm
All
not a
his
bro.
way.
I am me. So now it becomes very tricky. But
Yeah.
But then again, even if you hide, you can't hide love for long.
yeah, it's
People
not
will
easy.
see. People will notice.
People
will
can
see.
pick up.
Can't, yeah. People
I
will
want to
see
read
si-
some
yeah.
more tweets because these people, Cate always make me so happy. So, dating with your workmate or dating your boss? Somebody said, Kwanza dating your boss. Baba Lucky said, it's like dating landlord. Kemoi Ndama says, dating your boss is easy because most of the time the boss wants to date with you and and you will not refuse when you are needy and willing to do so.
Oops.
Okay.
I didn't get that
Interesting.
last part.
Dating your boss, I'm going to, sorry Kemoi Ndama if I don't get your point correctly, but he said dating your boss is easy because most of the time the boss wants to date with you. So that one I guess is the sense of, most likely it's a boss who will approach the junior if they want a romantic relationship. It will not be the other way around unless you are very, yeah, you are really out there. And then he says, you will not refuse and needy and willing to do so as now the junior.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that. And then Mary said, it's okay with me as long as you know what you're doing. So that was very straight to the point. It's like you really need to be aware of what moves you're making. This one about, it's like dating the landlord. I'm dead.
The landlord one. Even, I want to respond to that. Okay, guys, the advantages of dating a landlord. Maji itakuwa continuous, haitaisha.
Yeah, by the way,
You can delay rent, and nobody will ask you. Anyway, that's a joke. But guess what? Okay, the last advantage. You might end up being the owner of the house.
oh yeah, you'll be now the one going to collect rents. By the way,
See the future, Wara.
Landlady. Landlady.
in fact, oh my gosh, I never even thought about it that way.
There's someone here who says, Ms. Fab says, yes, it can work if the parties involved are mature enough and professional enough to know when to separate work and their love life. Somebody else says, yes, they do, pretty much. Someone else said, some do, some can't with the environment you work around. What environment would really hinder the success of a relationship? In this case, since we already know, if you have the principles aligned, but then sometimes you do everything by the book. We have the relationships aligned, you're going for mentorship, but somehow you're just shaken by the things and people, especially the energy from people.
And it still
I
ends.
think there are two. There's a department called HR in every organization.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the HR department has to set a clear policy on relationships at work. It needs to be addressed in a staff meeting. And the boundaries are A, B, C, D. It needs to be clear. If organizations nowadays are actually creating a place where you can come to work with your baby as a mother, a nursing mother. So how do you expect people to be nursing mothers if the relationships are not being encouraged in the first place?
Yeah.
You can't get a baby without these relationships.
Yeah.
See, kuna ka process hapo.
Yeah,
So I think it's about time.
right.
People are not going to meet in a designated zone.
Yeah,
So
But there are
HR department needs to start thinking,
Yes.
what do you do?
yeah.
You need these two people. They need all of us, including the camera guys here. But we are all dating. But without us, this production is not happening. So you have to create the conducive atmosphere. Then you, now that the policies have been set, then you better adhere to them.
Yeah. It's these HR departments, though, existing even now, that the companies still have policies where they say no dating in the workplace under no circumstances. It is not allowed within company policy. Come on a window shop, window shop uko nje. So I don't know, do you think, like now, because of what you said, do you strongly feel that that's something that should be looked at and changed in those companies?
Yes, because like I said, if guys are allowed now in some certain companies, I won't mention them, to go to work with your small baby.
Yeah.
There's a nursery and you can quickly go see your kid and come back, because that makes you a better productive person. So if we stifle this relationship, it's not like we have an immunization the way you immunize somebody against polio. So now you doing all the stuff, so we have no feelings against each other. These feelings will be there.
Yeah.
So I think the world we are approaching, this will continue happening. And you know, you won't stop people from liking each other.
That's true.
And
So,
actually, they
yeah.
spend a lot of time together. Like
Yeah.
half the day or almost 3/4 the day you
8
spend
hours.
at work.
Together.
Yeah.
That's true.
You spend with your colleagues, so they are bound to happen relationships.
Yeah. Kate, what would you say in your relationship? I like that someone pinpointed that. What would you say has been your craziest moment?
At
Either
work?
positive or negative?
At work or no?
Just in general, balancing the work thing, your relationship, trying to put a straight face when you guys are mad at each other. What has been your craziest moment?
The craziest moment is when you know you've come from home, you had a fight, but you're going for a boardroom meeting, and when you get there, you have to, as in you have to put up a face, you have to be happy. Actually, you make up before you go to the boardroom. That's the,
You just have to.
You
Yeah.
have to.
Otherwise, you have to be a star actress.
Yeah.
Actually, you
Because
need
you
to.
can't
Yeah.
act, you have to.
You have to act. You have to
Yeah.
act some serious acting skills up.
Then that's really nice. I feel then people should really go for co-workers relationships. If you guys are fighting and you have to make up before going to work,
Then it's going to be the ultimate save.
the ultimate save.
Because you see, you can't avoid fights.
Yeah.
In a normal relationship, there will always be friction.
Yeah.
So we can't say now me and you are dating now, we are always smiling, happy.
Yeah.
There is a percentage of fights. And they will erupt at any time. They will not erupt on a weekend when you are resting at home. They can erupt on Monday.
There's no timer.
As you go open the boardroom meeting for this big pitch for Choma and Ngoma. You know, but you can't let the team there know that you're fighting.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you're an employer, HR department, CEO, I think you need to sit down and find a way to have a perfect balance for employees that are interested in each other, want to have a relationship, and probably a future together. It's something that needs to be discussed, and I'm very happy that probably you as KTN and Lifestyle actually called us to be able to discuss it. We are no experts. I'm happy guys are giving feedback. It's a
Yeah.
topic that can be discussed for a very long time.
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
true. There's someone who says they don't believe it can work, relationships at work. And she went ahead to say the breakup won't work. If you're dating and you work together, then it's time for you people to separate. It's like you really can't separate. You
'Cause you
still
see
see each other every single day.
It's very tricky.
Yes.
You are not supposed to break up if you are working together. The 11th commandment of some sort. Because anyway, it will be very hard. And the hardest part will be now my friend is catering you now in a box.
And we're all in the
That's
office
tricky.
together. Oh my God. That's office drama.
It is crazy. You see, even me, I don't know how to deal with that.
But I
Yeah.
think that's why you have to ask yourself whether it's worth it. Like
Yes.
when you decide that you are attracted to this person and you want to pursue it, it's like, do your math and ask yourself whether you're willing to, because you also don't know how it's going to end. So you have to ask yourself whether you're willing to chance.
You have to have a 2-year strategy plan.
Yes, there is
Yeah.
short term and long term.
Yeah, you have to. You have to go and say, okay, suppose we break up.
Yeah.
Does it
You
mean
really
I have to exit?
sit down and think about
Imagine you have to
that.
think about it.
Wow.
Or suppose you're
I
fired.
want to.
Or suppose you're fired.
What,
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the boss wanted you.
Okay, now we're like in a soap opera because I'm just like, what?
Who knew?
Yeah, because that could happen. It's true. If somebody in the higher position is part of this love triangle,
Yeah.
they can just
They'll
decide.
win for sure.
Yeah, I'll
I
tell
don't
the
want,
woman.
Yeah.
whether any of you can be fired. The one who is liked and is being fought over,
Yeah.
akichoka na wewe aseme umekata, or the one who is katying my person, then I say you need to go.
Yeah. There's someone here who says, I believe for a relationship, there is need for adventure. So they believe if you're dating your co-worker,
What's the name of that one?
it wasn't Njoroge.
Hiking.
Yes, Rose. Adventure.
So what would you say is your adventurous moment?
That was a very interesting direct. Kate.
Chris.
And back to Chris.
Adventurous. In terms of what we do or what?
How you bring adventure into your relationship.
Oh, we travel.
Okay.
We love traveling.
Okay.
Traveling is key. We don't drink alcohol. Because of the nature of the work we do in events, we do not consider going out and going to events as entertainment. It's not.
Because it just feels like work. You can see all the mistakes, all the
In
good
fact,
stuff.
we will go to an event and our back is on facing the stage. We're actually observing how guys are enjoying themselves. For me, that's fun.
Yeah.
I'll go see the security setup. I'll go see where the toilets are put. Funny stuff that people don't do in events.
Yeah.
So how do we relax? We travel.
Okay.
So we plan for serious travel, either within the country, outside the country. That's how.
You
Even
take that
DJs
break.
go on off on Monday.
Yeah.
And so we are sort of, weekend is work time, Monday is off of some sort. And we don't wake up these times you guys called us to come here, unless it's very necessary.
So there is somebody who messaged me, and I want to tell you guys about the conversation we had, because I told you how Twitter, people seem to be really positive guys using the hashtag and replying onto our tweets are being really, really, really positive. And a lot of them are like, yeah, it's cool. A few of them are like, no, or people are like saying there's limits.
Yes.
Instagram, on the other hand,
People are against
says
it.
no, never, don't do it. They are against it.
We have a hashtag we call Sisi Kama in-laws.
Yes, exactly.
And the reason why you came up with that hashtag is to just encourage people to be in relationships. And we actually advocate for across the border a relationship. And the bigger picture is that if you have people intermarrying, inter-tribe, inter-countries, I think we'll have a better world. That's our belief. So that's the serious part of that.
Yeah.
So I understand the in-laws, Instagram guys who are a bit hard on they don't think this can work. It's like I said again, if you've ever seen a friend go through a tough time because they are tempted to date at work, or you went through the same, then you are not going to be very pro this.
Yes, yeah, it will be hard to look at it. His story is quite similar to you guys's, so I wanted to read his because it was so different from everything that I was getting. And he said him and his wife met at work. That was his first response. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I just asked him whether he would have advice. If you are dating as co-workers, how do you go through it? And he said, well, it wasn't easy. They tried keeping it a secret. Like you guys, lol, until everybody knew. But he's like, we just ignored people's opinions, and the rumors did keep going. Then he told me they dated for almost 7 years, and they were pretty much used to it, all the rumors and all the drama because of how long they'd been together. And also other people got used to it. So eventually they had mutual friends as a couple, and they'd even just laugh about those tough times. And then he said by the time they were getting married, they had moved jobs. So his story is like everything you guys had gone through, and then also like the advice that eventually you might have to cross over and go somewhere else. That's what happened with them. He wanted to stay anonymous, so I'm just gonna shout him out.
Oh yeah, hashtag anonymous.
Yes.
I love how that combines everything we've discussed.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on the same page. We are now positive about this whole co-worker relationship. Guys, keep the conversations going. Use the hashtag KTN Life and Style on Twitter, and you can comment on our Instagram and Facebook pages at KTN Life and Style. Right about now, we're going to take a short break. If you think this is easy, again, think again. You really have to think again. Let's take a short break.